Good morning, traders. So we're still busy with the Bill Williams and looking at the Aussie South African top 40. So yeah, yesterday was just a typical holiday period Aussie day. You can see the trend looked like it was changing, and we ended up with a massive red engulfing candle. So I think the critical aspect for me at the moment on the daily is that this fractal level was broken. Okay, yes, we've closed back below it, but the fractal level was broken. And you can see quite significant if I just line it up with this one. So this brings us 1, 2, 3, here's another 4. And probably some interaction to the left as well. Yeah, there it is there. I can bring it down even more. So that's a level there that we need to watch, which is 46,716. Now, I know we're back below that at the moment. We're quite far below that, but we have broken the level to the upside. Okay, and the other thing that you need to draw in here, because it is now probably be on the lower time frames, but there is definitely let's not call it a trend for now, but it is a channel of sorts. Okay. So that's the one thing that we can see at the moment. The other thing that we could also argue is that we've had a range breakout. Okay, we've come back to test the break. The break of the range, it is coming back to test quite severely, but at the same time it is testing the break of the alligator. Okay, and we also ended up with first green bar quite a long time above zero, which sometimes indicates a trend change. Boom. It's normally a warning bell, but you're looking for a level to go at the same time. Okay, so this is just really a warning to say, hey, the trend could be changing here. And we've come back to test the break. Okay, so if we look at the 4 hour, nothing really exciting on the 4 hour except for one thing, the grouping of the oscillator down here. Okay, so we were hovering up at the top, which is indicating overbought, and then it played out, and we're now in oversold territory. So this is a buying opportunity right now. What I'd like to see, though, is some support somewhere. And I don't know if we're going to get that. So let's just see what we can line up here. That looks like a reasonable level. You can see we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 more interaction here. So that seems to be a pretty reasonable level to look at. Would also coincide with this trend line. So what's that? 45,477. Okay, I just want to have a look at our friend Tencent. Tencent is flat, 0.06 down. But yeah, Nasdaq was a little bit more boisterous than Tencent yesterday anyway. And the Rand dollar, 14.48, so slightly 14.46, slightly down from yesterday. The US markets had a rally into the close, finishing up 1%. So at this stage, I would expect us to have a gap up this morning. Let's just get to the hour and just see what's going to happen here. So I'd expect us to have a gap up. You can see we're using the 200 moving average on the hour as support at the moment. You can see the oscillators are grouped to the downside. We do have not quite diversions because price is also moving up, but there's two chains of thought here. So the first one is obviously this is just a flag, and we're looking for a second move down. Okay, so that could still be one chain of thought. And the other chain of thought could be that it's we're going to bounce off this level. That this move here has been the move up, and we've pulled back. So let's just have a look at a Fibonacci on that. And you can see we're hovering on the 61.8, barely came down to 72.6. But we are in a fairly interesting area at the moment. Okay, so Before we just have a look at what we may do, let's just quickly have a look at the ichimoku. Okay, 1 hour ichimoku, we're bouncing off the cloud. Okay, down the bottom, bouncing off the cloud. We do have a bearish crossover though, which is not a positive signal. The cloud is green though, so that's still in our favor. Let's just get to a higher time frame. Okay, same thing with the 4 hour. We're coming back to test the cloud. Okay, this divergence here on the 4 hour is fairly significant. You see, there is a low, higher low, and a higher low, whereas this is low and a lower low. So we've got divergence. This is continuation divergence in the direction that we were moving, which is up. Okay, so and the daily, I think we just bounced off the cloud. Yeah, you can see, so we bounced off the cloud. We've come back onto Kijinsen and Chikinsen, and we've had a crossover here. So this is the first signal. Next signal will be the Chiku span brown breaking through price, and then the third one would be the crossover of the cloud. Okay, so looking at that, let's just get back to our Bill Williams, and let's just get to a 4. I just want to try and pick up a level that we need to watch for. Now this does look like the level that we need to be paying attention to, 45, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to go down on the time frames just to double check that we have. Okay, so that does look like a level to be watching for. So I think the way I would play this today is pretty simple actually. Watch these fractions. Let's get down to the half hour though. Pick them up on the half hour. Those are the two fractals to watch. Okay, so it's the low of yesterday at 45, 650, and then this little rebound here at 46, 134. That's the zone that I'd be watching, or the range that I'd be watching at the moment. And what I'm looking for is a break up or down of those areas. What you can also do is just tighten this bottom one up to 45,776. Okay, so the logic is quite simple. We broke through the alligator here and we trended up. Then yesterday we broke back below the alligator. We're coming up to either test the break. Okay, we're either coming back to test the break of the alligator and then continue on our journey down, or it was a pullback to come and test the 200 EMA on the 30-minute as well as the 1 hour, and not so much on any of the other time frames. Just check the 12. Okay, it's also testing the underside of the 12. So you can see how these two fractal levels on the 12 minutes are the ones that you're looking for. You'll probably find something on the 15 minutes that's similar. Okay, so a breakdown may see some more downside, although I'm a bit skeptical about the downside at the moment. If I look at the bigger time frames, and I'll show you now just before I close off, but definitely a break above 46,132 should give us some upside. Okay, and why I'm a bit skeptical for the downside is primarily because of that. So it's 1, 2, 3 touches. That's a fairly good trend at the moment. Looking at the 4 hour, you've got this divergence as well. So if there is downside, I'm expecting it to come and tag this. This is the trend line at 45,500, between 45,500 and 45,480. Let's just say 480. So there's a 200-point area here that I'm expecting. So if I just align, that probably makes the most sense. You can see there's the tail, there's the tails there. Okay, this probably makes the most sense at the moment, which is 45,460. And on our, yeah, okay. So that's kind of my view at this moment. Kind of in two minds. There could be a second move to the downside. but that move to the downside would pretty much either come to this swing low here or this one here. That's one of these two. So somewhere between 45,270 and 45,460. That's the area that I'm looking for longs. Okay, so yeah, that's me for the moment. Kind of in two minds. So I think the idea is just to trade what you see during the European Open. Now, if we do start getting a rally, then it's well worth getting in. Your stops are pretty high. 600-point stop loss at the moment. So trade with a position side that you can handle. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. It's either a break above this fractal for a long, or it's a break below the closing price of yesterday. Which so I basically look for a break and then a retest. If the retest holds, then I'll play the short, because then there's a possibility we could get below this trend line. If it does just come straight down, then I'll be looking for a long off this area here. As soon as I see some sort of price action on a 12-minute that indicates that it's bouncing off this line, then we'll have a long and look for a very tight stop. Okay, so that's kind of the play that I see at the moment. Just looking at the weekly, you can see we are kind of in no man's land at the moment. And I don't see any weekly levels here either that may help us. Okay, so, and monthly, nothing really there either, except for this positioning well below the negative 80, which is an extremely bullish indicator at the moment. Okay, so yeah, that's me for today. Just watch those levels very carefully, because those are the two that we need to worry about. Okay, so these two fractal levels here. And even if we do get short, just bear in mind that you're looking for this trend line for an entry long. Okay, anyway, guys, that's my take on it for now. No concrete direction, but that's pretty typical for this holiday period with the Aussie. So just go with the flow, whichever way it goes, hop on, and just remember to take your profit early, because it's not going to run. It's not going to fall through the floor or shoot the lights out. But it will be a volatile move anyway, as it has been. Okay, anyway, guys, catch up with you later. Hope it helps, and enjoy your day. Cheers for now.